God damn it. I swear to God. It doesn't matter where I put my phone, trying to put my phone out of the way. Something always manages to fucking fall on that screen. I gotta get a fucking screen protector, ASAP Rocky style. Okay, well, I kind of want to go down there now that I've discovered that.
Back.
Okay, that path is new. I haven't noticed that before. What I wanted to do was see if I could jump on those boxes and get down there. Like, do you think I'd die?
Okay.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, but in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to
You
his
need
death.
lift to lower you.
Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Well, now I feel stupid.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Man, that takes me right back to being a kid. That's like always how it would go. I'd be sitting there waiting for my
Stanley
turn,
came
and
to
they'd
a
be
set
like,
of
it's your
two
turn,
open
Brad.
doors. He
Like,
entered the
yeah,
door.
I'm
This
gonna
was not the
fucking die
correct way to the
immediately.
meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he
Sit there
wanted
for
to stop
fucking-
by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
45 minutes and wait for my fucking turn.
Standing
again.
now in this incredible room, Stanley but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No, I want to check out that platform now.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Come on. Oh. Yeah, okay. Oh. It's definitely just gonna do the same thing again. Oh. Okay. I can fuck with this. Hello. Oh.
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path
What
that
the
it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it
Okay,
seemed
I've
the
never
office
seen
had
this
begun.
before.
So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun.
So far off the beaten path
that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path. You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording?
Jesus
It was
fucking
all
Christ.
just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do.
Oh.
Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
Okay.
My God, the bumpscosity in here is absolutely overwhelming. 1,000? You people have got to be nuts. How can you stand this much bumpscosity?
Baby, we live that world of bump. Okay. And I got one more thing I
When
want to show
Stanley
you.
came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Always gotta go take a poo. I got the feeling money's for stealing, but not yours, of course. Say, that's a lovely purse. You're 9 o'clock, y'all. Oh, whoa, buddy, it's been in front of our face the whole time. We fucking missed it. Oh my god. Oh, I gotta be so much smarter. I gotta open my eyes more. No fucking way. That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay. Dude, this fucking door's never opened. Business strategy?
I knew you needed to check more things.
I swear to fuck I opened that door before, or tried to open that door before, but the input, that's... Okay, well, okay, we went up. Stanley. I heard that Stanley quietly in there. I guess the real question is that Stanley singing? That voice is getting louder and louder. Is this a fucking joke? Oh, we got there. Curiosity kills a cat. Nope, please, just put an end to that. Okay, that worked good. So we don't need to continue with that.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Kill surprise.
What the fuck, dude? He's just powerhousing his way through this, eh? Alright, well, if he's moved along, then he might be upset if I bother with the... So what was the code? The code was 284... Ah, for fuck's sakes. Okay. Nope. Alright, so 2... 8, 4, 5.
2,845.
Still didn't. I really would have thought that would get a rouse out of him. Doesn't get anything. Alright, let's move on. It's amazing. This game is fascinating.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Okay. Do we want to see the Easter egg, or do you want to continue to the story again? I don't remember what the Easter egg is, but I know there's one down there. I think it might be musical, but I know you could get up here, and then you... Oh, shit, I almost fucked.
Easter egg.
Alright, Easter egg it is. Whee!
Aha! You've made it to the bottom of the Mind Control Facility. Welcome! You see, back when the Stanley Parable first launched in 2013, getting to the bottom of the Mind Control Facility was a bug that we simply didn't catch during development. And you all sent us lots of photos of it on Twitter and acted very superior about it. And you're all very, very clever. Good for you. Anyway, when it came time to update the game, we knew that we had to do something about this little goof of ours, so here you go. New content. You can call it the bottom of the mind control room ending, if that enhances your perception of the value of these updates. Isn't that what you crave? New content? Always more content, more content, more. And I'm here to give it to you. I'm here to make it seem like we really covered every nook and cranny of the game, with secrets and Easter eggs.
Perfect.
How about this? We wrote a new piece of music just for this section. You won't hear it anywhere else in the game. It's a secret that's just for you. That's how special you are. We call this track, Good Job You've Made It to the Bottom of the Mind Control Facility. Well done.
Good job, you did it. Good job.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Good job, you made it to the bottom of the mind control facility.
Jump down the catwalk.
You should
have been careful. You should have been careful. Used to be a bug,
but now
it's an ending.
So there are
Now
Easter
it's
eggs
an
in that.
ending. I believe in you.
I
believe in your ability to cross this barrier.
Chase your
It's like
dreams.
Rock Band.
Railings
They don't mean anything.
Good job, you
Did it. Good job, you did it.
And other
Good job,
secrets
you
in
did
rest
it.
of game.
Good job, you did it.
Good job,
you did it.
Good job, you did it.
Not that I'm
Good
aware
job,
of.
you did
Well,
it. Good job, you did
I mean,
it. Good job, you did it. Good job,
not
you
any
did it.
direct Easter eggs like this, like just so blatant. The whole game is basically just little Easter eggs. As you play through the game, you find more and more.
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
What the fuck? But I swear to God, like every time I play this game, I still get new content, and I played through it a few times with my buddy, and like way back. Fuck, I don't fucking know. Oh, we gotta, Brad. Computers. Ha. Okay. Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, giddy in a way he had never known before. Was it this room? A connection between the two? Could a man love a room? I mean, truly, truly, deeply, madly love.
I love you, Laura, I love you.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about.
Oh, and who is that?
Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
What?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
What? Oh boy, whoa.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Do you want to try and pull the plug in the phone, or do you want to answer? What are you thinking? I feel like pulling the plug's an option. They've made it emphasized enough.
Pick up.
Alright. Hello, Stanley here.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Yeah.
Sorry, but you're in my story now.
Brutal. Alright. This isn't mixing well with my trip. Let's hit another Vaporuni here. Fuck it, it's a field goal. Howdy doodly.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Okay.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
I mean, does anyone really choose that life? No. Fuck off. Come on. You're not in control, me, buddy. Let me out of the fucking room.
But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Lame.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly. So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Well, Miss So, what are you thinking? What do we do here? I don't think there's really an option.
Go for it.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Oh, look at that. I'm excited. I'm actually pumped. Like, is this gonna do something? That's a delightful reward after that little mind fuck there. Huh. Ha ha!
Almost full.
No fucking way! You know what's odd? My DMT trip was oddly rem okay. You're really fucking tripping me out here. Oh, they're buttons. Oh, well, there weren't buttons in my DMT trip. Oh my god. You want to talk about how to give me, like, PTSD? Bring that shit up. Woo! Buttons. Like, you can't be fucking serious. I'll be here forever. No, they're fixing themselves. Buttons. Oh my god, how do we get out of here? Oh my god. There's gotta be something. Okay, reset all the fucking buttons. We're gonna start with...
What's DMT trip?
It's very potent ayahuasca, but instead of as a drink, you smoke it and you have a very interesting experience for... It's supposed to be about 10 minutes. And when I first did it, I was looking at a mirror, and a ball of color hit the wall, and then the whole wall turned into a wall of balls of color. It wasn't too far off of, like, would have been like this. And then I had my outer body experience. And alright, this is tripping me the fuck out. Like, are we fucking done here? You fucking game? Like, I've gone too deep to fucking back out here, but fucking throw me a fucking bone here. Oh, I hate the chanting too, the buttons, like, oh. What the fuck are we supposed to fucking do here? I'm gonna look it up and there's gonna be no answer. Darn it. I was thinking maybe if I could... Oh, look at that, I was actually not too far off. Okay. It'll never happen. I'm fucking stoned, am I? Alright. Fuck. I'm gonna look it up, but there's not gonna be a solution to heaven. We're gonna have to just restart the game. The Stanley Parable Heaven puzzle solution.
Okay.
The heaven ending is HD Ultra obtaining the ending. Oh, wait. God damn it, no! That's what I thought. God, that was tripping me out. Perfect! Sweet. So that... Okay. So, the end... With a bucket. In order to play this ending with a bucket, you need the phone outside of Stanley's office to ring, or the narrator to
There
ask
was
if the
no
orders
solution?
really stop. Yeah, there's no solution. You gotta restart it. After the final input, Stanley is teleported from his office to a circular room filled with colorful buttons, revolving around the center of the room, which is called Heaven. In the background, a choir repeatedly sings the words, "Push the buttons, push the buttons." You can only exit this ending by resetting your game on your own. With the bucket, the ending was added as additional content. In order to play this ending with the bucket, you must need the phone outside of Stanley's office to ring, or the narrator to ask if the orders really stopped coming in. The door to Stanley's room will stay open. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
No, I feel like I missed something because the door didn't
No
stay.
matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh, what the fuck? Is this in the game? Oh no, that's just... Oh! God damn it, bad timing. You got me nervous there, game. You got me nervous. You had me nervous for a moment there. I got it running through the streaming software, but I forgot to plug my laptop in, so my laptop died. So the USB it was plugged into no longer had power. All right, sorry about that.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
No probs.
It's already open.
Here's the door, just go.
Okay, this is getting weirder and weirder because he's still reacting. I've never gone this deep this many times. Like, because I feel like when you turn off the game, it resets it. So it's like, and like it, or maybe it's just stuff added for. God damn it. Maybe it's just stuff added for this game.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. But But of course, Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had too much to live for. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Nothing fancy in those numbers, just random numbers.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible.
I was gonna say, if you're getting bored of this game too, let me know.
Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
It's okay. I want you to get to some kind of conclusion.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear...
This must have been a challenging game to write code for.
How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley?
Fuck. Okay.
It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me.
3 attempts remaining.
What all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on the trees.
Fuck! Alright, we're wasting our
Dear
time.
me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that
Press
timer
number 5.
that
Okay.
something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room.
5.
These numbered buttons. No,
Okay.
these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button. Or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why
Okay.
do you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be
Fuck.
beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see
5,
you
4.
made humble.
Okay.
This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first.
3.
So you can't.
Um,
Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing.
2.
No ending here. Just you being
1.
blown to pieces.
Fuck.
Will you cling desperately to your frail life? Or will you let it go
Goodbye,
peacefully?
employee. Holy shit.
Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all
Holy
the
shit,
same
this
to me.
this one
All
looks like it
part
actually
of
could have
the
went
joke.
somewhere.
And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the
Ah,
moment you fade
fuck
in
me,
until the
son of a
moment I say,
bitch.
happily ever after.
Fuck you! There looked like there was something there.
Even now, Stanley's office is a
Drat.
distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting. Was it a painting or a photo? He could no longer recall.
It's weird. I don't think I've ever gotten over there. I'm avoiding the new content.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it
excuse me.
perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Did
The
I?
lounge was grand, majestic, perhaps, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Have we taken this path before?
And so he detoured through the maintenance section,
shit.
walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
So if that, yeah, that's the meeting room. No, let's go down.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go,
Worst office ever, heh.
left. Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Okay. This is kind of a... Oh! What the fuck?
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to,
Oh, what does that say up there?
It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather
432.
than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning.
No, no,
And
no,
this
no,
time,
no, no, no.
suppose we don't wander so far off track, hmm? Okay, from the top.
God damn it.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
$432.
Dude, the safety bucket's gone now. The new content door's gone.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Miss So, where would you like to go? I'm gonna stand right here, and we've got door 1 to the left,
boy.
door 1, 2, left and right on the front, or...
No clue.
I feel like this one's interesting, because it's got a additional one blocking... Oh, the way.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I
No.
find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
No. God damn it.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Is this always this messy? Knowing your city. Before you can possibly know above to begin your new street watching operation, you only know in your city. I'll use gorgeous is, but it's best to explore. Weird.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Okay. This is no bueno. Where's my vape pen? That's a beautiful photo. Painting. Photo? Both? It's a painting of a photo. Okay, brother, what are you trying to show me here? A wish.
Aha!
Ah,
I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes.
yeah, going in a complete fucking
No,
circle.
wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Oh.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job.
What?
Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations.
Fuck off.
Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart. All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Whee! Okay. Let me turn off the computer. Oh. Oh, okay. Cool, 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 cool. Salter, yeah, move. Lame. Okay.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story?
Yeah.
Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay, now if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office in fact the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
It's loud. Jesus fucking Christ. What? That doesn't fucking physically make sense! Okay.
This is nuts, lol.
Wait, cut the music, go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Okay, well, I'm going back to that. Oh, God. That sneeze felt weird. That wasn't a double sneeze. That was wrong. Ugh. It really did feel weird, too. Oh, man. Oh, I'm dedicated. Now I have to do the adventure line another time to take a different fucking path.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell? Still missing the doors. Did we make a mistake following the line? Perhaps we could have found the story on our own.
Jesus Christ. Like, are we battling the line now? Let's go back to our office. Enough of this. Okay. Oh shit, where do we go from here then? I guess follow the line, but didn't we... Oh, for fuck's sakes. He's gonna restart the game on us. Alright, which other direction? Fuck. We're going in circles. Oh. Oh. Fuck. Alright.
Oh, no, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Figures.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
437? Alright.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
I want it not to be us going in circles forever. I want us to actually have...
No, not you again.
God damn it.
Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine. Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important, we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Confusion ending?
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, 8 8 times? That's
Holy
really
fuck.
how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it
God.
to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait, you know. I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination, so I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Ugh. So,
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
fuck, so the narrator is resetted because... Oh, but what was the steps? Fuck! Give me 1 second here. Actually, god damn it. I've forgotten the steps. Oh, the door's closed though. It's still different. No. No. Yeah. Wait. Am I losing it? I think I'm losing it.
When Stanley came
I've been
to
playing
a
this
set
game
of
for too
2
fucking
open
long
doors, he entered the door on his left.
There's no rhyme or reason anymore.
I mean, I guess we'll... I'm just trying to think. Oh, screw it. Just keep going.
Yet there was not
Do
a
you
single
remember how
person
we
here
activated
either.
the adventure
Feeling a
line?
wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping coming to a staircase.
You can quit game if you need to get to bed.
I don't need to go to bed, but I'm feeling persistent now.
I have no idea.
I can't fucking remember how we started it. The door's open. This probably still leads nowhere. Yeah, no, we're not gonna play. We ain't playing that game. Narrator's already got it open.
Here's the door, just go.
So the narrator just forgets the confusing ending. He hasn't forgotten the other endings.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
The adventure line would have
At
been
this
way
point,
beforehand.
Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
What the fuck would I have... I'm going this way to see if anything's changed, but... What? How did I activate that fucking adventure line? Because now I've ruined... Oh. Yeah, okay.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly. And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Okay, well, I guess we've started this, so we might as well. What is this? So there. And then that's the narrator's voice. Alright. Hit the exit. I feel bad. If I knew we were gonna play this long, I would have probably switched to the rat game.
How they wish to destroy one another.
I would need a walkthrough to play this game.
How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail.
No worries. I'll catch the rat game another night.
As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you.
Dude, did you see that?
All of his co-workers were gone.
What the
What
fuck?
could it mean? Stanley decided to
Yeah.
go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Dude, what is going on? The bucket's here too. Oh, man. Man, what? Why do I keep finding new stuff? Like... And now it's like, do I want to take the bucket? Because the bucket's from the updated thing, so we should play through it without the bucket. But it's like, will I ever find my way back here again?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
And every choice, every time it switches something like this, it's like, does it switch the whole game? Like, now does each choice make a different choice? Like... Oh... Man, my brain hurt. Brad brain hurt.
Grab the bucket.
Yet there was not
Fuck.
a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Here's the door, just go.
Check compo. Computer.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
We're gonna play through it since it changed to see if anything else changed or if it's...
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Okay.
What are you thinking? Do you have any ideas, like a battle
Now
plan?
the monitors
I'm
jumped to
kinda
life,
lost.
Their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Not really. Feeling lost too. Just going with flow now.
To believe it couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control.
There's where we need to get to
Never.
again.
It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power
Wait a
over
minute.
another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
This is so fucking... So we still ended up in the mind control place. Man, I am...
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do.
How's the new Godzilla movie?
fucking
Turn the
amazing.
controls off and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example,
Brandon,
and I believe you'll
Look
find
up
this
how to
pertinent.
solve the mind control
Stanley
puzzle.
suddenly realized he had
I need your
just
help. I haven't been able
initiated
to
the
figure it out. I've been
network's
stuck here.
Evening, Ash.
system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA
Look, there's a path up
identification,
there.
Nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is
Evening, Miss So, and I'm not at a computer right
what a
now.
shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off.
Fuck.
But what precious moments each one of them is. More time
Damn
to
it.
talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are. A moment of solace before you're obliterated. All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying.
Go forward this time 12,345.
Swallowing everyone
Yeah, good
inside,
point.
or
Good
I let
point.
it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though. This version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better.
2.
My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? But you really believe there's an answer? How many times will you replay this bit, looking desperately for a solution? 10? 100? 1,000? I look forward to finding out and to watching the bomb go off each time you fail.
Fuck you!
Just you and me and the retching explosion of fire and metal over and over and over for all of eternity. And Stanley died again. And Stanley died again.
Fuck
And
you.
Stanley died again. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count.
No fucking way!
It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
What the fu- It said another choice. Ah.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Rip.
Look, we must be in a chain of events again. Oh, never mind. The safety bucket's right there. You know what?
Stanley's bucket. The only co-worker he would ever truly need. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy? It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now.
Bucket.
It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say.
I'd die for that
Supposed to
bucket.
go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient?
Bullshit.
That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well,
No.
I'd never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
Yeah, well, day one. So, I walked out of my office here. People were missing, okay? I was
Okay,
not feeling...
I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go. There. Now it's settled.
Oh my
No more
God.
debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
Lol.
All right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see? I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket. That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, "Ah, it's a bucket." There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker.
It's very good.
You know what? I could take the name-calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the bucket, but now the broom closet is just giving us the silent treatment, and to be honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display. You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies, easily the most childish such room I've ever been in. I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
Hey, Room, I heard what you said about my bucket, and I don't appreciate it. And you thought I was gonna walk in here and leave you this bucket. Ha. 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 You fool.
Did you look all the way up?
Yep. Peace out.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this.
Where'd
Who
the
knows
bucket
what
go?
sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his...
Holy shit.
Indeed. Now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground.
Twist, what a twist.
He
Oh my
exclaimed,
God.
Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad.
No.
Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him. Stanley! Stanley, it's me, the bucket. Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket. Come to me, Stanley. Find me. He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend.
God.
It was the only way to truly restore his sanity.
I hear you, Bucket, I'm coming.
Dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real
no.
bucket was inside of him all along.
Oh
Oh
no.
dear.
Incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony
Uh,
and blacked out. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and...
Turns out the real Bucket was the friends we made along the way.
Everything is predetermined, and free will is an illusion, and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
nice.
I can't
She was
wait
an
to tell this
acrobat.
story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
It's the property of Stanley.
Is Stanley, without the bucket, really Stanley at all? No, no, surely not.
Okay, I wanted to have the bucket for...
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, no, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door. Oh, good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually. You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure
Phew,
Line and the
Yellow
Broadcast.
Line is back.
Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
Man, I got my bucket. I don't have time
Look
for
at that wacky
line.
line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well. Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
It's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
Was the original game anything like this?
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer.
No.
I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well...
You're not taking the bucket.
With so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready. Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this.
I'm not giving you my bucket.
Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and go.
I didn't want to give you the bucket. What the fuck is this?
Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much
Jesus.
potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you and tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
Jesus Christ.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting.
No.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. As Stanley lifted his bucket, he felt a connection to all buckets everywhere. This adventure, he decided, was for all of them. Stanley clutched the bucket.
You should have given it the bucket.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Well, no, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go
No,
there.
bucket is a
Go to the
friend.
cargo
Ha,
lift.
good night, bucket gang.
Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift
Have
all
we
the way
gone
to the
the
top.
balcony away,
There's
or
something
did I
up there I
restart
need
it?
you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Oh,
Up, down to left.
shit. Oh, fuck. The fuck?
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms.
There was a door there.
How deeply touching.
At least we still got another ending. It'll only take a second to get there. I lost a viewer. Oh, that was...
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought... What new mysteries lay in store for our bucket-loving heroes today? Let's find out. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
I've fallen in love with the
Stanley
bucket.
had
Night,
felt the
Ash.
bucket calling to him,
I feel like
telling
I
him
can't
that the employee lounge
the
was
bucket
simply
behind.
the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes.
Go somewhere
Good,
else.
said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
I don't have a key card. Didn't we go this way?
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, no buckets
Shit.
past this point. Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose
Oh,
that would
God
explain a lot
damn
about your
it.
behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true...
Yes, go back.
I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
God damn it. Wonder if it'll acknowledge that we've been through it once already and just like
Now
speedrun it.
then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin.
Okay.
Item 1. Is this a bucket?
No, that's a hologram of a bucket.
Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket. Item 2. Is this a bucket?
No, that is a 3D printed replica of a bucket.
Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
This is a bucket, is it not?
Item 3. Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a bucket.
This next one's a tractor, if I remember correctly.
No.
Item 4. Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a tractor and not a bucket. To be honest, I just sort of put this one in here as a gimme, but I was starting to get concerned that even this might be too much for you. Thank you for not making me look like an idiot. Okay, next one. Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a bucket.
And then the next one's nothing. And it isn't a bucket.
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
Ah, fuck. God damn it.
No.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
Schrodinger's bucket, that's right.
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. Should be around here somewhere. Yes. Thank you. There's nothing here. Of course it isn't a bucket. We both know full well that nothing isn't a bucket. Wait, When I say nothing isn't a bucket, that makes it sound like I'm saying everything is a bucket, which of course is not true. Unless... Is that what you think? Answer me straight, Stanley. Are you trying to tell me that you believe everything is a bucket? You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely. Okay, here we go. What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay?
They shouldn't make you play pointless parts over again.
But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Now this, Stanley thought to himself, this is a bucket. And indeed it was. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room. But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than... No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't realize I was on mute there.
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Good,
Said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him.
At any point, I could have pressed start and hit begin the game again. I just went through it because I thought if I got all the answers correct, that maybe it would do something different, but it just didn't. I wish it would have. I mean, the game's not going to tell you it's going to do something the same, but I wish it would have, because...
It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose
I
not to
understand.
think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
We might actually be reaching, like, the end of what we can do of
In
choices.
here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
To this dark room over here? Oh, Jesus. Oh,
now
no.
pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone, and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
Go back and check door.
Shit. It's locked.
You keep passing doors.
Whoa! Hold on. Why did you unplug the phone? Were you trying to resist the bucket's orders? Stanley, I was joking. Obviously, the bucket isn't talking to you and telling you to do things. Buckets can't talk. It was a joke. Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking bucket. Can't you see? Oh, goodness. I must have really bungled up the delivery if you actually took me seriously. Where did I mess up the joke? Should I have paused for longer or spoken quicker? Comedic timing is so difficult. I wish I were better at it. But there isn't exactly an instructional video on comedy that one can watch to fully... Oh, wait, yes, there is. It's sitting right here. Let's take a look.
What?
What is comedic timing? What is comedic timing? How does it work? How long should it last? How can it be used to effectively silence your political enemies? And more importantly, can it be taught in its entirety within 90 seconds? Thankfully, the answer to all of these questions is yes. Let's dive deeper. If you've ever told a joke or made someone laugh, in all likelihood, you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit, with one of your arms raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle from your body. These are the optimal conditions for good comedic timing. To begin the joke, start by stating and spelling your name. Next, provide a brief synopsis of the joke, including the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh, and then spell out your name a second time. With these steps complete, it's time to begin the humor. Speak the entire joke in no more than 18 seconds and no less than 13 and a half, pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary. When the joke has concluded, it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm Dunny with the funny." Let's practice screaming, "I'm Dunny with the funny" now.
I'm Dunny with the funny. I'm Dunny
Good.
with the funny.
This saying is a perfect example of expectations management, which is the cornerstone of good comedy. Finally, it's time to hand out surveys. Collecting hard data from your audience on how rapid they were throughout the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a comedian. An effective survey should be no less than 10 pages long and should include the same question reprinted several times, just to ensure the survey taker is actually paying attention and not simply filling in answers at random. And that's all there is. With these strategies at your disposal, you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter and even tripled over in laughter in no time at all. Just remember to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp. After all, we're each of us needed on the front lines of the war to fight the 12-legged invader who threaten our very existence and who very likely die in a hailstorm of bullets and mandibles. All of us must be prepared to give our lives to this noble cause, just as our children must do after us, and their children after them. Godspeed, and may Earth reign supreme. Hey, goodness, this video is a little outdated, isn't it? Well, no matter. I think the fundamentals of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back then. So with that in mind, I believe the only way forward is for us to return to the two doors and walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate
Okay, that felt like Fallout.
Come along, let's head back.
Oh my god, what the fuck is happening?
I can feel it. This time, I'm really going to nail the delivery. You'll be in stitches. A talking bucket, you'll say? How ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious concept. The king of comedy. That's what you'll call me. Thank goodness we had the instructional video. Otherwise, who knows where we'd be right now. Well, I wouldn't be the king of comedy, that's for sure. The bucket spoke to Stanley.
You keep missing the door.
The bucket spoke? Oh, I'll figure it out on the fly. No need to overthink things.
So, like, I just... Nope. Yes. I guess you're right. Try doors. You know it's serious when the bucket doesn't even say anything about the employee lounge. My god, it's been
Here we
another
go.
hour.
You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
Which we do, the door on the left or the door on the right? I'm thinking the door on the right. But
Left.
left? Sure.
No, 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 no. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back to the phone. Did you not even look at the instructional video? I think this is all covered very clearly. There's
You
no
choose.
way I can make the comedic timing work now. It's done. The joke is completely done and over. It's all your fault, Stanley. I'm going to be ridiculed in the community of other joke writers. I'm going to be shamed at every one of our meetings from now on. All because you couldn't watch a simple video and take a hint. Are you proud of yourself for bringing me down, Stanley? Are you proud? Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of 2 open doors, they entered the door on the left. No, 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 no. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back. Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of 2 open doors, they entered the door on the left. No, 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 no. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back. Here we go. You ready?
Okay.
When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of 2 open doors, they entered the door on the left. No, 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 no. You were supposed to
Go opposite of what he says.
Oh, I know. I was just testing the limits.
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of 2 open doors,
He said the same
they
thing
entered
3
the
times
door
in a
on the
row. It's
left.
not changing now. No, I lost my sticker of the bucket. What the fuck?
What? We're back at the phone already? No, no, no. What's going on? There were supposed to be several rooms leading up to this. There was supposed to be a build-up to this point, a dramatic display of remarkable comedic wit which culminates in this scene with the phone. But now the timing's completely off. The joke will never land. Well, not the way it was meant to. And it's all my fault. I must have forgotten that the phone room comes immediately after the 2 doors room. What an egregious mistake. I've made a fool of myself. I don't deserve the title of King of Comedy. I'm nothing. I'm not even the lowliest joke-telling whelp. I think I need to go back and rewatch that instructional video again. Yes, surely that will help me improve my...
Oh my god.
Stanley, you love the bucket so much it's like you... it's as though all of your other most prized possessions pale in comparison. Yes. Well, let me try that again, Stanley. I heard that you are pale with shame over how unabashedly in love with a bucket you are. No? Still not? Is it the delivery? Pale with shame. Pale with shame?
Is this actually the end of the game?
What?
What's another word to describe a bucket? Stanley, this bucket is so metal. I think I saw it playing guitar. No. We're getting away from making fun of Stanley's obsession with the bucket, which was the whole point of this. I'm no good at these jokes. I need more instructional videos. That's exactly what it is.
No.
That's what will make me the king of comedy again. More instructional videos. Let's see.
No.
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something
Good Lord.
happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
Well, I still...
Finally!
This game is an exercise in patience.
Yes. I love that bucket.
To be frank,
Stanley
it's
clutched the bucket
ADHD
tightly
dream.
to his This was not the correct
Just
way to the meeting room.
never
But
ending.
Stanley had felt
So
the
many
bucket
options.
calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct?
Nope.
Was no. Never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back
Like,
to
it
the
pisses
meeting
me
room.
off because, like, I was almost done here, but now I just want to answer the
said
phone.
the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room.
And, like,
go
did I go
somewhere
down
else.
here with the bucket?
The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo.
There was a door you missed earlier with word so it.
Now
You're
ride the
killing
lift
me,
all the
man.
way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
With words,
Stanley
so
did
it?
not
Words
question
asterisk
why or
on it.
how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Fuck, I wish we didn't
You're
have the...
going too fast and missing stuff.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Doesn't look like I can get in there.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Fuck, it's my friend. Absolutely.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
It's not true.
Sorry, don't mean to sound critical. It's the game, man. Heh.
Oh, it's all good.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like
Where's
this,
my bucket?
obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
Where's my bucket? Oh. Oh, we should... Let's go back to work.
Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
But it does.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from, me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket, this stupid hunk of metal.
Don't talk about my prejudices like that.
It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
Yes, bucket.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another. Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
Because there's so much more than just bucket here.
Oh no, I'm having feelings for the bucket. No, 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 no. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes, the bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation.
Only one answer. Get in bed, narrator. We are having an eyes wide shut threesome. Believe me, narrator. None of us are ready.
Stanley, give me the bucket.
No.
Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley.
No.
I need it. Give it to me now. Give it or I'll...
No. Give me the bucket.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Lol.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. One man, one bucket, one chance to seize their destiny together. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Money in the morning, money in the evening, money for breakfast, money crisp.
Check computer to see if it changed.
I think it's permanently in.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Oh my god, we can take the death path with the fucking bucket.
The elevator raced down, plummeting towards an unknown fate.
What would the death...
It would be all
Oh,
Stanley could
for
do to
fuck's
keep
sakes.
himself together, if not
This
for
game
the
never
bucket.
stops giving more
Soothing
options.
him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Well,
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
that's what that was the goal, but now that I realize this is here.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death. The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Whee! No terrifying speech for me, fella?
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end as it was crushed violently to death. It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way,
It's
but
different
this
now.
one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
Oh my god. The bucket welcomes you to the grand exhibit. You are standing in the precipice of knowledge. Much like the bucket itself, the human mind is frequently empty within a cavernous void, but through the use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes fully enriched and substantiated. Knowledge of the bucket and its history is the only true knowledge we have. Will you take what you learn here with you into the world? Will you accept with an open mind what may be challenging about information in this exhibit? Will you change the lives of yourself and loved ones as a result of this exhibit? Or will you turn a blind eye and continue to live as you were, in ignorance and bliss?
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can
No.
you see that the bucket
My
is
bucket.
far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
Oh my god. This bucket is depicted as having two handles. Such a design has never been created in real life, as being deemed too dangerous and recklessly experimental. Every year, dozens are put to death just for attempting it. Something behind there. Oh, what a beautiful fucking piece of artwork.
Lol.
That's not 25 buckets. A photograph of 25 buckets, the greatest number of buckets ever captured on camera. The photographer experienced catatonic shock in several weeks in exposure. There's no fucking way that's only 25. The original bucket? The Inferno bucket. Replica of the Inferno bucket, which in the medieval era was so powerful and luring dozens of nations to war with one another to control it. Billions died, yet in spite of it all, the simple fact remains that no one can control a bucket. Lame. Oh my god. Cave drawing. While we know that buckets predate the existence of mankind, we do not know by how long. This cave drawing depicts early man
Ancient bucket
discovery
history.
of the practical uses of the bucket, by which time the bucket had already likely been around for several millennia. Notice in these drawings how the bucket is allowing itself to be used, having judged humanity worthy of its treasures. Oh, fuck, this is hilarious. Okay, a stress bucket. An analogy. The wisdom is unheard of.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
The hanging bucket. This piece symbolizes the necessary relationship between the bucket and humanity. However clear our grasp the bucket may be, there is yet more always out of reach. This distance inevitably is for our own good. Nope. We're going for it.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong.
Ah,
Let
shit.
Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new...
Should I let it get crushed? Because it's saying the bucket will become king. But if we cut it off early, it does something. Oh my god, this adds so much fucking context to everything. Every step of the way, there's more. Whatever this happens is the last choice, and then I think I might continue tomorrow, because I need answers. I think I'm gonna get crushed. I'm gonna go with the crushing. Here we go.
vision.
Fuck, I definitely should have restarted it.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought...
You know what? Fuck you. There's supposed to be a way to keep this door open. Oh, what the fuck? Why?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, well. Alright. You got me, game.
You missed a memo, lol.
What memo?
No matter how hard Stanley looked,
All on the
he
floor.
couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Oh, ha. Correct you are. I feel like I shouldn't take the bucket.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
But now I feel like nothing's going to be different.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Here's the door. Just go.
Shit, but how did we... Oh, fuck.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, give me the bucket.
It's bucket time.
Enough's enough.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest.
Can't figure out how to keep that door open.
Nope, there's only one thing I can think of, because it involves the
Still
bucket,
no one
and there's
was
one
here.
thing I haven't done with the
Stanley
bucket.
needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find out. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
I mean, the problem is...
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once
sakes.
again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
But even still, we get down here. There's still two choices. And even bringing the bucket down.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Like the Easter egg could have a fucking bucket one. You know what? Fuck it. No, no, no. Brad, no.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Got one goal here. Sorry, I didn't see that you replied so quick. I'm playing the Stanley Parable. I got a headset on. Headset on. Oops.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Oh no, the bucket's scared. That's not good.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the
bucket won't let us
would
fail.
dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Ah, if you insist.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and
Come on.
Wait, what was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket.
Throw it, Stanley. Save the bucket.
With the bucket. No. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
God damn it, and of course it turns into the total different game again. Oh, what the fuck? The whiteboard ending?
Check all doors.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Fuck it.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Oh, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
know what's crazy? We still haven't... There's still stuff missing. So you obviously should be able to fill that up.
Here's the door. Just go.
Why did I turn dog mode on? Like, I should have grabbed the bucket.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
God, this is killing me.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Service dog dog poodle dog face.
It was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad
Our
or
dog
content.
gets a happy ending.
Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place.
And then I'm going
And
to
as the
bed.
cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this... blackness, and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it?
Oh.
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away.
Yeah, day
And
after
yet,
tomorrow, if you want to
even as
continue
the
on the
immense
rock game,
door
we
slowly
can
opened,
probably
Stanley
pick up
reflected
where we
on
left
how
off.
many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight
Okey-doke.
streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy. A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
The end is never the end. The end is never the end. Oh my god. Every fucking time I'm ready to set this fucking game down, it's like, here's something. And I'm pick up the bucket because the next fucking the next
It's
fucking
bucket time.
oh my god, losing my mind. Hopefully, the door's really open. It's like, please come in. Well, next time. Oh my god, what a nightmare. I can't believe I just played that game for probably like fucking 4 or 5 hours. How fucking long? 2 hours. That was only 2 fucking hours? Oh, wait, no, Yeah, no, that was way too much time on this game. What the fuck am I doing with my life? That's a complete waste of time. I find it really fun and fascinating, but it's a complete fucking waste of time. So, commitment. Play the Stanley Parable for an entire duration of a Tuesday. Holy shit. Complete the Stanley Parable in under 4 minutes and 22 seconds. Don't play the Stanley Parable for 10 years? The fuck do you get that fucking trophy? Holy shit. Well, next time. That was fun. Have a good night, dude. Oh, I keep calling you dude. It's Miss. Have a good night, lady. Lady, miss, what do you prefer? Oh, honey.
Either is fine.
Perfect. I'll work on it. A good evening to you. Or morning.